Jonathan E., that's the name. Houston players come and go, but the champion plays on.
Hello, welcome to Cynic Critique, where we get real with cult films. I'm your host, Thomas, and I'm here with my brother and co-host, my bro-host, Brian. Hey, this week we're looking at films displaying future sports with Rollerball from 1975, the Rollerball from 2002, and the aptly titled Futuresport from 1998.
So, Rollerball, 1975?
Yeah.
This wasn't meant to be a game!
In a corporate-controlled future, an ultra-violent sport known as Rollerball represents the world, and one of its powerful athletes is out to defy those who want him out of the game. That powerful athlete is played by Scott Caan. No,
James Caan.
Father James Caan. Oh dear. It's directed by Norman Jewison and written by William Harrison, who I think you said wrote the short story.
Yeah.
So do you want to start the conversation with this?
Well, William Harrison, he wrote the short story. He's not even credited for writing this movie.
Oh,
IMDb
IMDb has him there.
Yeah, well, apparently he's not credited.
IMDb. It has him credited for screenplay, but it doesn't have him credited for being the author of the short story,
Right.
which is called Rollerball Murder.
Yeah, because in the short story, the aim of the game was actually to kill the other players,
Right.
which the movie it's not. The movie it's actually scoring a point. It was a strange sport. Do you have the rules written down or?
Well, I said it doesn't really display the rules. It just shows you a game and you're expected to pick up on the rules. The only rule it does say is you've got to get the ball in the goal.
Yeah, which is pretty much any sport.
Yes. Yeah, pretty much.
But apparently they knew what they were doing because they were playing it on set, like between takes.
I think they'd need to, but was that with the motorbikes going? Because this incorporates roller skates, not inline skates though. The old-fashioned with like one wheel on each corner of your foot, so it looks a bit weird from today's standpoint, I would say anyway. But they incorporate motorbikes into that as well.
Yeah, apparently they were playing it between takes and everything. They filmed in Germany in an Olympic basketball arena in Munich.
Right, okay.
And they actually had regular civilians just like...
Spectating.
Yeah, and spectators. Apparently they got so into the sport that they didn't even want James Caan's team to win, so they kind of beat him up.
What?
They beat James Caan up because they didn't want that team to win.
Wow, okay.
They got really into the violence part,
It's not
right?
like they really got into the violence of the film, and also very into the sport, and
Yeah.
but also not just the violence of the film, but the world of the film. They didn't want James Caan to win.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and also talk about rules. I can't remember what it is they changed, but for the final game in the climax, they're like, there's a quick rule changing
Yeah.
because they're trying to make it so can't win, aren't they?
Yeah. Have it, they can have him taken out.
There's kind of a conspiracy going on behind the scenes in this, isn't there?
Yeah.
Being very on brand for 70s to incorporate conspiracy and corruption into it, because I've been having to watch a lot of 70s films lately and they all seem to be about corruption or conspiracy or both. So I didn't think this was going to incorporate it. I guess I was a bit stupid to think that, because it certainly did. One note, it's the first note on my page that I made while watching this, and it was, how big was roller disco when they made this sport for the film? I think they thought a lot of people were going to be going around on roller skates more than they actually are. What year was this film set, do you know?
It's set in 2018. I don't know if we've watched him.
So we should be about
Where?
years into this sport.
Yeah, 2018. We should be a good few years into sport by now.
Oh, 6 years into this sport. I
Yeah,
can't do maths today.
No, apparently not.
Because I don't remember it actually stating anywhere in the film the year is.
I don't remember it stating maybe I absolutely missed it. It'll come up at the beginning in big letters.
Maybe it doesn't, because I've just gone to the Wikipedia page, and in the plot section, the first thing it says for the plot, in 2018.
Yeah.
Also, do you not find it weird that the James Caan's called Jonathan E? Like, there's no real surname to it, it's just E.
Yeah.
Weird, right?
Yeah, in the world that set up, it's all about like corporate branding.
Yeah.
And all that sort of thing.
It's an energy company, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's in charge of this at the minute.
The players didn't really have names. You didn't really have any well-known names. So they only had like first names and then number in the sport. Number 8. Because there's only one font for the movie. Everything's written in that one font.
Yeah, it's an odd font as well.
Yeah. Not really explained openly in the film itself, but the reason why they want to take Jonathan E out is mainly because the public are seeing him as a hero figure. They're seeing him as something more in that world.
Okay.
That sort of thing isn't allowed.
Yeah.
So they're like, we can't have something bigger than our own company.
Right, but he's kind of worth more on his own as a brand, I guess, than what company can be as a company.
So him refusing to retire is actually like...
Oh, that makes much more sense now.
Yeah, like, hey, they don't seem to... It states it's not really explained. So, like, anyone watching it, they're just kind of like, oh, they just want him dead.
Because we've established this film set in the future, I've got a few strange things that I want to bring up, because it's set, what would it be, 43 years in the future from when it was released?
About, yeah.
Okay, so our lead character, Jonathan E, seems to be scared of computers. He doesn't really want to use them.
Yeah.
So when he goes to the library to try and get records, he's a bit upset that he can't get hold of these records or books as hard copies.
Yeah.
And I think it was an AI librarian. They say, oh, we don't have books here anymore. They're all energy now.
Yeah.
They don't use the word digital.
No.
So they say it's all energy now, and there's only 2 libraries that house hard copy books, and one of them was Geneva. But I just found that really odd, the fact that they thought, oh no, computers are going to take over the world, there won't be any books.
No.
So it's not even a utopian future, this, I don't feel. It's clearly a dystopian, with the idea of governments taking over, being taken over by corporations.
Yeah.
But then in this thing, I think it's Bartholomew, who's played by
John Howson.
Yes, he's kind of the film's main antagonist.
Yeah.
And he's having a video conference anyway with some of the other people on the board. And they're talking directly to each other, but they can't see him talking. He can see all of them, but they don't have a video link of him. It doesn't appear. And then there's like a little vote come on, and instead of just saying yes or no to him in person, they all have a little button to press to confirm affirmative. And I just found that really weird as well.
Yeah.
I think this is about 6 or 7, maybe 8 years after 2001, Space Odyssey.
Yeah.
Because the AI in this, I made a note, is very similar to HAL.
Yeah.
How it's just this voice that you don't really see where it belongs.
Yeah.
Although with HAL, you kind of do see that little red dot of a camera, don't you, for a representation of this stuff.
It has been stated that 2001 Space Odyssey was one of the influencers for the film, along with Clockwork Orange, for like the violence, I think.
Right, that makes a lot of sense, although I wouldn't say this film's as violent as it thinks it is.
Well, I think it was supposed to be an anti-violence movie, but they all love the violence.
I mean, you can have an anti-violence movie where the characters love violence. That's kind of the point.
Yeah.
But I don't think this film's as violent as they think it is.
No, because people really enjoyed the sport, so it can't be that violent, right?
No, but there's, like, when it's actually watching the sport of Rollerball, there's some really good stuff in there, I think.
Yeah.
That's when the film was at its best, I found.
Yeah. They did one of the first films to credit the stunt actors because they recognised
playing
that.
Sport.
They're the ones who are the real stars.
Right, that makes
they're the ones putting themselves out.
Because without them, I don't think this film would be much.
No,
I'm not really. I don't want to sound like I'm really down on the film, but I think this is one of them where it had such a reputation. So watching it for my first time now, after all these years of putting it off, that it didn't really feel like anything.
Yeah.
I kind of felt I'd seen all these things done in better places.
Yeah.
Other places, should I say. Like Futuresport. Because ironically, I had seen that before this.
I watched him in a weird order because I watched a remake, then this, then the remake, then Futuresport, then this. I watch him backwards.
Mine's a lot faster than that.
Yeah.
There's also a big thing about him watching TV in this, I feel.
Yeah.
But what's really weird is they've got one big monitor and then across
Yeah.
the top, several little monitors.
Yeah.
They're not even in sync.
No, they're all showing different things at one point as well. Like, what are you watching?
Yeah. Like,
I would hate that.
I mean, I guess it shows a level of hyper-focus, if you want, or a different type of focus, because he can focus on all these different things happening at once. Probably why he's able to play the game really well.
Yeah. Well, funny for a guy that didn't really like technology.
But I don't really want to spoil the ending of this one too much, actually, because I think if people were wanting to check it out, the ending is really worth not saying much about. I don't know how you feel about it. Not that there's a big twist or anything.
No.
But I just think that final climactic scene is...
The end bit, the major part of the film, you can't go about spoiling the end scene.
So, is this all you've got to say about this, or is there more things trivia-wise you can say?
No, I think that was it.
Okay.
So I guess we're moving on to your...
So, if listeners haven't noticed, our episodes do kind of link from one to another.
Yeah.
There's a tenuous link here, I guess, because James Gunn's son's James Caan's son. Scott Caan was in...
Mistook him for...
Yeah.
He was in Varsity Blues.
Yeah, from last week's episode.
Yeah. And speaking of Varsity Blues, Chris Klein is in the next movie we're going to talk.
What's the next movie we're talking about exactly?
A Rollerball, but from 2002.
Right, okay.
This was an easy one, I think.
Can I do the intro for this as well? The synopsis?
Would you like to?
Only because I feel you've got a lot more trivia and things to say on these than I have.
Okay.
Wasting your life. The break you need is right here. If you make the team, pow.
So, Rollerball, this time the remake from 2002, is directed by John McTiernan of Die Hard and The Predator fame.
Yep.
It's written by William Harrison, Larry Ferguson, and John Pogue.
Yeah.
Can't tell you much about it, I'll be honest. It stars Chris Klein, this time as Jonathan. He's still Jonathan, but I think they give him a surname here.
Jonathan Cross.
Thank you. Then we've got Jean Reno he's like the manager character this time, isn't he? He's the big bad.
Alexis Petru.
Yeah. And then we've got LL Cool J as his best friend this time.
Yeah, Marcus Ridley.
And this time, even though it's from 2002, this time it's set in 2005.
Yeah.
In which a violent sport can have some pretty serious consequences, like dying. That's the synopsis from IMDb anyway.
Yeah. You said what the director had done, but...
Sorry, yeah.
Writer Larry Ferguson, he's the writer of one of your favourite films, Highlander. He did Beverly Hills Cop 2, Hunt for Red October, which was also John McTiernan, I believe, and Alien 3. But this was his last movie he has credit
Did he get fired as a screenwriter? He's just saying...
I wouldn't even say this is that bad of a movie, but somehow it has a reputation for being a really bad film. And I'm just thinking...
I think it's the trashy kind of good.
Yeah, it's not great, but it's watchable. It's a bit of fun, you know?
Yeah.
The other writer, John Pogue, he did U.S. Marshals and the remake of Ghost Ship. Oh, interesting thing about John McTiernan, director, Die Hard and everything, like you mentioned previous. He also did... Yes, this is a remake of Futuresport by Norman Jewison, but John McTiernan also remade the Thomas Crown Affair, which was Norman Jewison.
Okay.
So in the second film he remade, and it's the same director that he's off about remaking films of, apparently.
Right. Maybe he's a fan.
Maybe.
Or not a fan and thinks, I can do better.
Well, maybe, but on this one, he was like, this one needed more violence, so he went and edited apparently a really good script because he wanted more violence.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Was this film violent?
I don't think so.
No, I don't remember thinking this film is violent.
Because
I may be a bit desensitized to that.
Now, apparently, the studio wasn't happy with that cut, and it sounds like they edited it, reshot stuff, took out some violent stuff.
Do you think the studio added the opening in then where we meet our character Cross doing the skateboarding down a hill in San Francisco thing? That felt very thrashing. Which is a Josh Brolin movie from the early 80s that's worth checking out.
Yeah.
Also not exactly great, but it's so worth checking out.
To be fair, the intro scene on this movie is probably one of the best bits.
Really? They made some odd changes with this as well, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they changed the arena big time. It's more like a skate park now.
Yeah, I think it got skating.
And before it
bigger.
was more like what they have for them cycling things in the sports stuffs.
Yeah.
Because they had kind of curved curved runs around the outside. I don't know what you call it. I'm not a sports guy.
No, me neither.
But they explain the sport a little more this time as well.
Yeah.
Like, they make a big deal about explaining it, and I don't.
Yeah.
It felt like a waste of time, maybe, because we got this like digital rendering of the map and
You
a display of
brought
what's
it,
going on. And
you brought it up at the beginning of the film and started talking about the rules and everything.
Yeah.
I was like, it's not their first one. Like, surely they're knowing the rules.
because I've seen some sports. Obviously, I watched the Super Bowl. At the beginning of the Super Bowl, they know there's British people watching, but they don't start going like, "Hang on, let's do a whole play-by-play of how the sport works."
No spot, I know, you've gone like, let's do the whole rundown of how it's done.
Unless it was the very first televised event, maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
Which this wasn't. They established it weren't.
Yeah, and it'd been around a few years, which was around, I think, still a bit weird because obviously it was only 3 years in the future.
2002. So
3 years in the future, they'd hang on this sport.
yeah, I had a note of that.
Yeah.
They mixed genders this time.
Yeah.
Like, you were allowed male and female on the same team, which I thought was a bit unusual for such a violent sport.
Yeah.
Because the women are really going to be outmatched by the brutality of a lot of the men. Like,
yeah, that's what kind of weird. Got Rebecca Romaine. She got Aurora, and she's like pretty much the brute of the team.
yeah.
And she gets to wear like a mask-like helmet thing. It's very
There's
stylish.
masks in this. I've made a comment. Ludicrous mask.
Yeah. Do you want
Because different teams had like different themed masks and stuff.
Yeah. Do you want to take a guess why they did that?
Stunt actors.
Yeah, they're pretty much reused every player. So like throughout the whole film, they're actually getting better at the sport. And
Right. Also, Chris Klein randomly got a haircut when he joins the team at the beginning.
yeah,
I made a note of that. I just thought I'd read that out because they get him in this and it sounds like he's not really played this sport before.
yeah, he like
Because this time he's a rookie, but he's like this amazing guy to have on the team.
Yeah, they really wanted it because he skated down a hill.
Yes, and I noticed they leaned a little more into the corporate thing with this, I guess, by their athletes in the film having to drink a certain drink towards the camera when it comes by.
Yeah,
It, which I thought was a big thing for capitalism and consumerism.
I think that'll come from the original script. That apparently had a huge thing on social commentary and all this other thing. And like Ed McSternum were like, I want violence.
Yeah.
Because apparently the studio thought it was like one of the best scripts they had.
Which studio was this again? Was it Screen Gems? Screen Gems don't really have many great scripts come through.
Yeah.
But apparently distributed by MGM.
Yeah.
Yeah, MGM were the production company for this. Certainly an odd one.
Yeah.
Again, it features a lot of news footage, but this time you get the fans react as well to the players.
Yeah.
Didn't really get a lot of that with the last one. Fans waiting outside to meet them and that sort of stuff.
No.
And I noticed they went round, they travelled more in this one. In the first, it seemed strictly American in the original, but this one, they're like, we need to go play in Japan and Eastern Europe. Which I guess they were playing against countries that were actually political threats to America.
Yeah. I think it because in the original, pretty much reused that same arena. Apparently they did redress it, but I don't remember it looking much different.
No, because I actually quite like the Team Go this time a little more. In originally, it's a little more like NFL padding and stuff, isn't it? But they've got roller skates. This time they're wearing inline skates. Yeah, because it's more modern, and I think inline skates just instantly look cooler. You don't look like a beginner anymore. But they get these cool like leather outfits and stuff, which were big in 2000s things, I guess. When you look at X-Men, which also had Rebecca Romaine. Yeah, not that she wore leather in that she didn't really wear anything.
No, well,
although this time it seemed to take on a 70s thing because there was like an insider plot going on. Because the John Reno character being more like planning from the inside as a takedown. Sort of conspiracy again. Well, this time they went more action thriller route because there's that weird scene where they get chased. You know, the weird night vision scene. Yeah. Like,
it oddly cuts to night vision.
Yeah.
You didn't know why. I didn't know
because
why.
These cars have lights on and stuff, so...
I think that was to do with some of the action scenes were unwatchable. So you think putting it in night vision, you did some reshoot.
I don't think it was the night vision that helped and enhanced that scene. It was definitely them weird, like, spring sound effects.
Them cartoony boing.
Yep,
boing.
Boing that you'd find in video games inside.
I don't even know what they were.
Weird noises they added. Another thing I didn't like in this that didn't really make much sense to me. Players got their team numbers tattooed on their faces.
Yeah.
Hell was that about?
It was really cool to do that in 2000.
I don't know. I disagree. I can't imagine it. What if you change team?
You keep your number.
You'd have to.
They'd have to like, hang on a minute. give you another number on top of that number.
Oh, there's also some really weird thing in this, as in cameos.
Oh,
Did
yeah.
you make note of who the cameos are? Because I did.
You've got them. Tell
Yeah.
them.
Singer Pink has a weird cameo.
Yep.
As in, she's not really doing anything. She's just in it.
Yep.
Slipknot. I think
Yep.
they're actually playing some music when other people are walking about.
Yeah.
And I don't remember seeing Shane McMahon from WWE, but
No.
I don't think I'd have recognised him, I'll be honest.
Paul Heyman from WWE as well, but I don't think it's WWE at the time. I can't remember. Got her WWE connection, and that was to do with Mick Turner again, because apparently he wanted to make it more like sports entertainment, which is name for wrestling at WWE, isn't it?
Yeah. Although when this came out, it weren't WWE; it would have been WWF.
I'm not sure.
I think.
I thought WWE in 2005.
Film came out in 2002.
Never mind. I'm thinking of when it's set.
It could have just changed to WWE that year.
I'm not sure, but the point was it was sports entertainment connection.
Also, I'm not sure if it's the copy we watched, but there's some like weird editing cuts. Like it just seemed as if it's like skipping a couple of frames.
Yeah.
I forgot to look into this, and I wish I had. It could have just been the copy we were watching. Could have been an old film.
It's old, 2002.
Yeah, because discs aren't the same anymore.
It's like 20 years.
Yeah, exactly. Again, like the original, though, we got some last-minute rule changes in the climactic game that they play. There's also a scene in this where, when they're playing the game, they try and take one of them out by setting the bike on fire, but the bike seems to take forever to ignite, even though they had, like, fuel going to it. Because, like, fire would start instantly and just get there really quick anyway in real life. But in films, normally, it trails along anyway. But this time, it didn't just trail along. It trailed along and then took forever to decide it was blowing the bike up, which might be a little more realistic, I don't know, but it just seemed to take a lot longer than it would in most other films. It was enough to bother me to make a note anyway. Although, strangely, like it sounds like I'm maybe dogging on this film, but I think I preferred watching this to the original.
I think you enjoyed it, like, fun and stupid.
Yeah.
In the original, you're like, don't try and be clever. You're not clever.
Yeah. Together, there's a happy medium with these films where there's a really good film. Because I liked a lot of the aesthetic in this one.
Yeah.
Sport, but I preferred how it didn't try and explain the rules of the sport, and it just let me watch almost what felt like a whole game.
Yeah.
The series is very cut and choppy throughout the game. You're not really seeing much. But I guess that's the studio trying to tone the action down.
And that action came from McTurnan.
Yeah.
He just wanted that.
It's a shame he's a good director, and I feel he maybe ruined what was a great film here.
Apparently,
I'm not saying it would have been like an amazing.
No. But they really loved it originally, and God knows what McTurnan. He wanted action and whatever else.
Again, I'd say this is worth checking out. If you're a person that don't want to watch older films just because you find them slow and boring, because I know there's some viewers out there that think that about 70s films and even 80s films, then check this one out. To some people, this could still be considered old now, I guess. I don't consider it old if it's my lifetime, and I've got 12 years up on that, so. Can we move to...
I don't want to say about cast. Do you want to guess who they wanted for Jonathan, the lead character played by Klein?
I'll guess, yeah. Keanu Reeves.
Yes. Spot on. So they went, they want Keanu Reeves. So they went, let's get knockoff Keanu Reeves. Chris Klein.
Yeah, he does have that sort of, like, Keanu Reeves look about him. His delivery, which I like sometimes. Yeah, it's how you're like, whoa. You want me to be Keanu Reeves?
Yeah, and then you'll do. I'm waiting for him to get his John Wick. My favourite actor, Nicolas Cage, he was offered a role in this film. I'm assuming that Jean Reno had.
Well, I could see him taking that role, yeah. But I like Jean Reno being in this. I like Jean Reno.
Yeah, he added a bit more world class to it, I think.
Being like European, you're saying?
Yeah. What I find weird about it, Rebecca Romijn only agreed to star in this movie if one of the nude scenes was removed. I'm not sure which, because she had a couple, I think. And she wanted the facial scar.
Right, okay.
Give me a big facial scar. And it's like, okay, I don't really know what that does to
well,
that one got her the role, so good on her. She got herself in a...
She was enjoying this, I'll be honest.
Critically panned movie.
Yeah, I can see why. It's really not that bad.
No,
Any more trivia dumps?
No, I don't want to get casting.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Keanu Reeves would have been mint in this.
It'd be weird though, right?
Yeah, I can't see him doing it. If it was more like the original, I'd be like, yeah, I can see Keanu Reeves doing it.
Yeah. I guarantee I imagine it'd have been like the pro at the store. So, yeah, on to your favourite
Okay,
one.
as we've discussed, 2 films are about the future sports already. This one is future sport.
Right now, the COM and North America are squaring off for one of the biggest turf battles in decades. No rules, no holds barred, winner take all. If that happens, a lot of people are gonna die.
The synopsis on IMDb reads, in 2025, future sport is the organised sport of the planet, but someone else is getting organised, and their game is war. This time it's directed by Ernest Dickinson. Dixon?
Because
No, it's Dickerson.
yeah, Dickerson.
Written by Stephen DeJarnett
Yeah.
and Robert Hewitt Wolf. DeJarnett had worked on some episodes of X-Files, but I think that could be during or after this. Some episodes of the Aeon Flux anime.
Yeah.
And Robert Hewitt Wolf. I think you've got the notes on that.
Creator of Andromeda. And he was a showrunner of Dresden File, I think, or at least developer. And
There's some files I have to cover.
Yeah, and he did a lot of TV. That all 3 of them pretty much did a lot of TV stuff.
Also, we should note this is apparently a TV movie.
Yeah.
I wondered if it was supposed to be a series.
Yeah, another fun fact about one of the writers, Steve DeJarnett, this was his last writing credit.
Can I guess?
Go on.
Was he fired as a screenwriter after that? I don't know. But yeah, this was a TV movie. There's really not much on this.
No.
I don't know. Like, his Wikipedia page is pretty bare bones.
Yeah. Oh, I know. We're a year away from this known future sport.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Also, I don't remember this, but IMDb credits the lead actor Dean Cain in this as Tremaine Trade the Pharaoh Ramsey. But more often than not, I've just referred to him as Ramsey or Trey.
I remember Tremaine Ramsey, but I don't remember...
Trey the Pharaoh?
I don't know. I remember that.
Yeah, got Vanessa Williams in this as Alexandra Alex Torres, Wesley Snipes as Obike, as I think it was pronounced Fix.
Yeah.
Because he plays a Rastafarian in this.
Yeah, he's great in it.
It's weird having Wesley Snipes in this as a more of like a support role.
Yeah. He didn't feel like Wesley Snipes. I thought that was kind of a good thing. Not that I don't like Wesley Snipes, but I mean, like, I felt like he was actually acting.
Yeah. Some other people worth noting is J.R. Bourne.
Yeah.
As Scythe. He appears in a couple episodes, I think, of X-Files. He's definitely in X-Files somewhere, or the Millennium series.
Yeah, I think quite a few TV.
And he was...
You watch all TV, you'll see a couple.
Wolf series. He was the werewolf hunter in that, wasn't he?
Yeah.
There's Hiro Kanagawa, who appears in loads of stuff across TV. I think he's in 2 episodes of X-Files playing 2 different people. And they're both absolute banging episodes as well.
And yeah, her recurring part in Smallville.
Yeah, he's one of the principals. Oh, and he was the voice of Mr. Fantastic in one of the animated series.
Yeah.
We should cover that for a Cancelled Too Soon special, I think.
Yeah.
I only got 1 or 2 seasons, and it's my favourite adaptation of the Fantastic Four, and I think it's yours. So
it might be.
If you're interested in the Fantastic Four, and if that is streaming, what's it called?
World's Greatest Heroes.
World's Greatest Heroes. If that is streaming on Disney Plus, and I hope to God it is, check it out, please.
I don't think it is over here.
Over here in the UK, obviously, from our accents. Do you want to start about this?
I will say.
This is a pretty big rip-off of Rollerball, right?
Yeah, it's been on Rollerball, and I went, this is Future Sport. And they're like, but what sport is it? And it's like, yeah, Future Sport.
That's its name.
That is the creativity of this movie.
Yeah.
The game they
People
play
designed the same.
very similar.
Yeah, they don't have motorbikes this time though. They do have hoverboards, and I think that's a nice touch.
Yeah, they went anything 2025. We've got years. We can get hoverboards.
They've got like hockey stick things in this. And
yeah,
that do other things, and I don't remember them being in the rollerballs.
They've got like stick, but they're not like. I don't know.
Sorry, I've just read a note, and I have to say this while I can.
Go for it.
Just recently, there's been some controversy about Henry Cavill's hair in that Argyle movie.
Yeah.
Dean Cain also played Superman. He's kind of got the Argyle haircut.
Yeah.
I had to bring it up. Not relevant, but funny. Big thing about news in this, because
Yeah.
Alex, played by Vanessa Williams, she's his ex-girlfriend, but she's a news reporter in this,
Yeah.
trying to cover Futuresport
Yeah.
and this revolutionary war that's happened.
Yeah, the Revolutionary War. It felt like it came out of nowhere near the beginning. Yeah.
Well, they come there for trade, don't they, for whatever reason?
Yeah.
And
Some big action scene kicks off. And you're like,
Yeah.
why?
and Trey's like, don't worry, I can put my Futuresport skills to test
Yeah.
and take these guys down. And all the hostages around start joining in and helping, don't they? With like Alex sends one lets him use the hoverboard and stuff like that.
Gets like
such a bizarre
ball,
film.
like pats to you, and you
Yeah.
like, what the hell? The metal ball from Rollerball.
Yeah, in fact, the whole arena was very much like the original Rollerball arena.
Yeah, it was pretty much a Rollerball.
So, this film was also from 1998, so it's before the Rollerball remake.
Yeah, like, did it set that in motion? Didn't it?
I don't know. Maybe. I think maybe. It's certainly worth questioning, right?
Yeah,
It's a hot property because Rollerball itself, the 75 version with Khan, it's
Got a
got a reputation of being like, well, a masterpiece, I guess, or an important cultural film at some point.
yeah,
So to then remake this because they've essentially remade it, right, as a TV movie.
yeah. But no one seems to reference it. And it like they're pretty much the same film.
Yeah. So somebody had clearly gone like, wait, this guy's just tried to remake Rollerball but called it Futuresport. Maybe the world does need a Rollerball remake. And off they went and typing up their tapping on the key to script up Rollerball 2002. Unbeknownst, it will be their last efforts at a screenwriting credit.
Maybe that's like some curse or something. Try and remake Rollerball and
You never work again.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not even the fact they never work here. Maybe they're just getting like bumped off in some sort of weird writing guild conspiracy.
Then they didn't really thought they were going to get away with it. Like, it's Futuresport. It's not going to be Rollerball.
Yeah.
But I can't wait to start playing Futuresport next year.
I've
Bye.
already signed up for the local team.
I just went out skating one day and my mate came over and said, I think you'll be good at this sport. It's not very well known yet.
And you're like, what is it? He was like, ping pong.
Yeah. He said Futuresport, and I'm like, that's interesting.
Oh, I'm up for Rollerball. I've just got to get my bike license for it.
Yeah.
There's some really weird stuff in this.
Yeah.
Again, like Rollerball, there's no rules. Just get them all in the hole.
Yeah, they played it, but I felt like the bigger part of it, well, the weird revolution stuff.
The revolution war that's about to happen.
Yeah.
So that comes into play. I don't know why it comes into play, but it becomes more of the film as Futuresport because Trey the Pharaoh, Dean Cain's character, basically is like, you know what? We'll end this war if you challenge me in Futuresport.
Yeah.
So it basically puts the whole of the United States' possible war efforts,
Yeah.
where they might actually win a war, all on his shoulders and ego of maybe winning one game of Futuresport.
Yeah.
So he could have cost America its independence, I guess, from this revolution in an hour, or however long it takes to play a game of Futuresport.
Imagine learning that in history. We lost everything because this egomaniac put everything on his skills in a sport, and he lost. And we lost everything.
One thing I like about it, though, is just not long after he's done that, the team then have to start training for the sport, don't they, to like get in shape to be this amazing team again. Well, they were already supposed to be a good team, but the coach walks in and he basically says to Trey, I'm proud of you for this noble thing you're doing. It's like, is it? He's just put your name at stake, the rest of his team at stake, on winning a game that can cost America.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I'm not spoiling it if I say he wins.
I think that's a huge spoiler.
But I just really wonder where this was going to go if it was to become a TV series. I kind of think it's better made than Rollerball 2002.
Well, I think it was apparently a very expensive TV movie at the time. I remember thinking, this looks good.
I forgot to say, Wesley Snipes is a producer on this, so that might have something to do with it.
I wanted Snipes was going to be the lead part or something. I think they'd even like, well, I've got Blade, I've got to go do it. So I'm not doing that.
Yeah, there's also some really weird stuff in this because it's set in the future. And I'm pretty sure they were walkie-talkies they were talking on at some point.
Yeah.
Seems a little redundant already. People knew cellular phones and mobiles, whatever you want to call them, were becoming a thing in 98. Yeah. And this walkie-talkie is still pretty big.
Yeah.
And it had an aerial.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Now, you remember that? Do you remember the little robot spiders?
Yep. That was my next thing I was about to bring.
Yeah, how it might be.
Spiderbot to spy on people.
Yeah.
Spiderbot killed Coach.
Yeah, damn it.
Face.
Little Spiderbot would come out and you're like, okay, I guess it's Futuresport.
This is where you're going to tell me this was created for something else, aren't you, this little Spiderbot?
Not mine, no.
Oh, I thought that's what you were going to say about him.
I really don't know.
We're just going to mention that it's such a contrast to the walkie-talkies.
Yeah, like, hey, I'm the whole fucking walkie-talkie. I'm going to kill you with a Spiderbot.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That Coach gets killed by this Spiderbot.
Yeah, no one cared.
And, I mean, they kind of cared, but Dean Cain's like, well, I'll have to be coach now. No one wants this job.
Yeah.
So he becomes coach and team captain.
Yeah, I think that's a conspiracy in itself.
I'm thinking, I don't know much about sports, but I'm pretty sure teams don't just have coaches, they have managers.
Yeah.
So a manager would be in charge of the team still, and it'd be like, we need a coach.
Yeah.
And then if no coach shows up, the manager would be like, hey, Tremaine the Ferrero Ramsey, you want to be coach? And then because he's so egotistical, because he's banking all of this war over one game of this sport he thinks is so good, he'd go like, I could be coach and team captain?
Yeah. I'm sure after this game, he was then just like, look at all this, make me president of the United States. I just saved us.
That's not where it ends, though, was it?
It wouldn't have surprised me.
Also, Trey had played the sport for 10 years when this film starts.
Oh, I mean, we should be playing this.
And at the end, for that final thing, he says, so we're playing street rules now? Or something like that.
Yeah.
It implies people play this on the street, which, yeah, okay, you probably would in the future if you've got a ball and the hoverboard and all these sticks and stuff. Because people play football with jumpers for goalposts and stuff, don't they? So I just found that a bit weird, these street rules, because it's already essentially a rule without sport where you can brutally attack other players.
Now,
what does it mean by street rules? You're not restricted to the court anymore?
Yeah. Rollerball. You have a metal ball shot out of a if we're doing this on the street, does someone have like some weird little cannon?
I assume they'd just roll it out. Somebody will just roll it out, right?
Oh, then they don't have
to be playing with a metal ball in the street. Surely you'll be people's windows through, concussing passerbys. You know, it's just utter madness. Oh, I also noted these things that we should probably bring up. Scythe. Is it Scythe? J.R. Bourne's character?
Yeah.
He's got, because people seem to have implants on this, technical implants and stuff, and he's got amplified reflexes.
Yeah.
Didn't help him much, did it?
No. He got beat by Futuresport.
Yes. But Oba K. Fix, Wesley Snipes' character, it's revealed that he taught Trey how to play.
Yeah.
Oh, and at the end, this is what I wanted to note, because you mentioned President. This is what I've got. It says President Clinton called for him. And he's like, I'll call him back. For Trey, that is. And I can't remember now if it was, I'll call her back or them back or him back. But I feel like he pretty much said, I'll call her back. So in 2025, Hillary Clinton was president in this movie? And then if it was, didn't Hillary Clinton lose out to Trump in the elections? May I add, Dean Cain, a Trump supporter, but here he thinks, Hillary Clinton. I'll be honest, if ever I get a chance to meet him again, I really want to question him about that.
Yeah?
Yeah. Wow, Mr. Cain. Although a lot can happen between the making of this film back in what would probably be 97 or early 98, I guess, when it was being made, to the presidency elections. And I don't really want to get into politics, but I just found that quite an odd little detail.
Well, did Dean Cain say he'd return to this movie?
I don't know when he said that, though, but apparently he has said in the past that he would like a sequel to this. So do I, goddammit.
I'd happily watch it. I have no idea why. I assume he would be coach or the president
Yeah.
or something. He'll be remembered, I'm sure.
What would they call it though? Sure, you cannot release a film now called Futuresport,
I think you can.
where the sport within the film is also Future Sport. Also, I think I paid 50p or £1 for this DVD. I saw it at CEX a year ago. And I was like, is that Dean Cain? Because he was a Superman that I grew up with on TV. And I was like, that looks ludicrous. And I was like, that's Wesley Snipes. For 50p or £1 or whatever it was, I'm definitely buying it. So I did. And I'm really proud I did because I've watched this film twice now. Once when I bought it, and again for this episode. And I am so happy about watching it. As good as Rollerballs are, I think Futuresport's more my jam.
I feel you set up this whole podcast just to talk about Futuresport.
I would never.
I think you bought that DVD that day and you went,
Are you in the same conspiracy as what's offing these writers?
You're buying that DVD and you were like, I'm going to do a podcast one day and talk about this.
Well, I did it, didn't I? It's done now. It's only took 7 or 8 weeks to get to this stage. I started the podcast, but I managed to work it around. So, is that all we can say for these films?
You Mark Wahlberg? Question me.
Am I Mark Wahlberg? Am I in a movie?
You're on a podcast.
I have to grow a mustache out. I'm playing Sully.
So what?
I have to grow a mustache. I'm playing Sully.
Yeah, that's the one.
You know, in Uncharted, he plays Sully and he doesn't have a mustache. And then post-credits scene, mustache.
I have to watch that film.
It's not worth it.
What Futuresport is.
Yep. You heard it here.
Yeah, I thought so. I think it obviously, yeah. But yeah, I think all these films are pretty good for what they are.
Yeah.
Essentially
I'd say
the same
check them all out. And whichever one you like the sound of most, it's definitely Futuresport or Rollerball.
Which Rollerball?
One of them.
Rollerball. It's definitely Rollerball.
It's the one about Futuresport. Watch that one. Because they're all about Futuresport. So, I think that's all we can say for these, right?
I believe so.
Okay. I'll wrap up then.
Yeah.
So that's the end of the show. Thank you for joining us this week. And if you haven't, give us a like and a subscribe. A glowing review would also be appreciated. Links for our socials can be found in our description. And remember to join us next week, because next week we have something a little different lined up. Our friend Matt from Sitting Through the Credits will be joining us, who I will link to in our description as well, as he's going to provide us a movie trivia quiz. So join us next week. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you.